why should you believe in creation and not evolution? I mean, scientifically speaking, haven't we proven that evolution is a fact? For there to be any hope that evolution happened, our Earth must be millions and billions of years old. After all, without millions of years, there's no way that an amoeba or a frog or a fish had time to evolve into a man. Now, many people mistakenly appeal to carbon-14 or C14 dating to support the supposed old ages that evolution requires. But C14 dating isn't actually used to date things that are thought to be millions of years old. That's because C14 doesn't last very long. It decays away quite rapidly. If our whole Earth were made of nothing but C14 atoms, after just 1 million years, there would be nothing left. Okay, so no evolutionary scientist expects to find C14 in a fossil that they believe is millions of years old. Carbon-14 can be detected using an incredibly accurate and high-tech machine called an accelerator mass spectrometer, or AMS. Now, these machines have to be checked occasionally to make sure that they're not picking up any background contamination from the laboratory. Rock samples that supposedly contain zero C14, like fossils and coal and limestone, are used for the test. The problem? Labs began realizing that the test samples had measurable amounts of C14 in it. So the scientists concluded that the samples all must have been contaminated somehow, even if they had thoroughly been prepared for the test to ensure no contamination. Interestingly enough, a blank sample measured zero C14, so it wasn't a machine error. The conclusion that these scientists refused to consider was that the rocks and fossil samples that they were testing were not millions of years old. And yet, how else do you explain C14 in supposedly old rocks and fossils? It shouldn't be there at all if the ages are even remotely accurate. But the problem gets even worse for old Earth evolution. Diamonds are considered by secular geologists to be billions of years old. They're the hardest natural substance, and so they resist contamination. Diamonds are formed over 100 miles below the surface and are brought up extremely quickly by pipes. It's nearly impossible that diamonds could be contaminated by any foreign C14, and there shouldn't be any intrinsic to the diamonds if they're billions of years old. Well, C14 has been found in diamonds. This C14 has to be part of their original composition when they were formed deep in the earth. But it can't last 1 million years, let alone 1 billion. This is a huge problem for secular geologists who believe dates of billions of years. They're believing in a theory, despite science in the lab giving conflicting data. When we start with God's Word, these findings make perfect sense. According to the biblical record, the earth is only a few thousand years old. Diamonds, probably part of the original creation rock, are only 6,000 years old, so C14 has no problem lasting over this amount of time. And the majority of fossils and rock layers were formed during Noah's flood around 4,000 years ago, so it's no surprise they have C14 in them. The observational evidence doesn't support millions of years. And without the millions of years, there's no chance whatsoever that evolution has happened. Just one more scientific reason that you shouldn't believe in geological evolution. It takes a lot of faith. I'm David Rives. Truly, the heavens declare the glory of God.
David is host of the television show Creation in the 21st Century, as seen on TBN every week, reaching millions of homes around the globe. Sign up for our email updates at davidrives.com to receive free content and videos.